There we go. Welcome, everybody. Joe Quills here with you. It is Thursday night, another night of the Joe Quills Show, presented by absolutely no one but yours truly. Um, got some things to talk about here because let me tell you that Michigan thing is really snowballed over a couple hours, and even into today, it's snowballed even more. Nothing like throwing a career away like that, all because you want some side action. But we'll get into that. We're also going to look at some other things here. Whoops, trying to see what I wrote. um, you can tell it's going to be one of those nights because I'm already like, but coming up here as well, Carter Hart returns to Philly. I'll give some thoughts on that. Um, TJ Watt was hospitalized, not TJ Hot. Um, we might see the Super Bowl winning quarterback Kenny Pickett facing the Eagles on Sunday. Um, and we'll add some other things to it because I do have one story I do want to mention as well. Might be a little bit of a sorbet over the um, with the Michigan stuff, especially if you're anti one school that just got preferential treatment next year. Um, so if you notice here, I said I want a creamsicle, and that is because we have Throwback Thursday on Thursday Night Football because the Falcons and the Bucks are both wearing their throwback uniforms. And the creamsicles are probably one of the best ones. And I stand by this statement. And, we can argue about this when I'm not as anxious with work and everything else right now. But um, I just think if the Eagles went to the Super Bowl 15 Eagles uniforms, the Dick Vermeil uniforms, as I call them, or the Super Bowl 15 uniforms, I would be more okay with that uniform. But, you know, since the Eagles have won two Super Bowls now, I just have to say that I just do not like remembering a team that didn't do jack shit in the playoffs. That's me. But um, so that's how I feel about that. That could be a topic for another day. Who knows? Um, but we'll get to this here tonight and get you ready for the weekend. Um, we're gonna. I'll give you an update on also eligible because I have made an executive decision this morning. Um, we're gonna veer away from the daily racing form. I think so. Um, but but yeah, we'll see. So, um, I hope everybody's doing well out there. I'm just freezing my ass off here in Philly, and it's going to get colder. We may even get snow this weekend, Saturday night into Sunday. Unfortunately, I was saying at work today, unfortunately, the snow's coming overnight and not during the game. But what can you say? But um, so yeah, and the one thing I like, and some color combinations you can do this, and some color combinations you can't. But tonight you definitely can do this, where both teams are not wearing their white uniforms. Now, both teams can't wear white because the whole optical thing and interceptions left and right. But I guess if they're nowhere near each other in the color spectrum or color rainbow or whatever you call it, the Roy G. Biv or whatever. Now there's a blast from the past, Roy G. Biv. Um, you know, I guess, every once in a while you get a game like this where both teams will wear their non-white uniforms. And I'm okay with this, I mean, I'm okay with every once in a while doing something like this. Now, I don't know how, like, for example, Kelly Green would work against orange. I guess would work with black. But, I don't think this isn't something that you're going to see every day. And, you know, and the Tampa Bay uniforms make me long for a creamsicle. Do they make creamsicles anymore? Um, and I'm not talking about the knockoff shit that you get at your supermarket. I mean, the actual creamsicle. Was it good humor that made them? I don't know. I mean, you don't have to check up on that who made it, but or even if they do make it, like little um, nice conversation starter here. So, um, little sorbet to get to this first story here, and it's um, it's strange, it's sad, um, it's scary, and I'm not purposely using alliteration here. And I'm not trying to joke around either because this is definitely something that um, came out of nowhere yesterday. At least for those that aren't in the know in the college football world or college football insiders or anything like that. But um, Sherrod Moore was fired yesterday, and yesterday afternoon, I'm sitting here. I just got back from walking over to McDonald's to get out of the apartment for a little bit because I was off yesterday. I was working on a couple of things. I'm always working on something. So, I see the ESPN alert, and I'm looking because the Phillies had re-signed Kyle Schwarber on Tuesday. So I'm sitting here, and I see ESPN come up. I'm like, okay, well, what's the alert for? So I'm looking, and little by little, actually, I think it was before I went across around the corner. Then it was he's fired with cause, and it's like you're waiting for another shoe to drop in this situation, and it's like all of a sudden it's wait, there's another shoe that's falling. Wait, another one? I mean, get the drop of DJ Khaled, and another one, and another one. That's what it felt like yesterday. And it's a story that is very sad because a career is over. I mean, nobody in their right mind would even consider this guy for a head coaching job. And it's also sad that, I mean, he's a married man of three. Meanwhile, I'm a single guy, and this guy is bogarting all the women. But I'm not sure if it was just the relationship because he was terminated with cause. And we've gone through this a couple of times, and if you get fired with cause, you don't get paid. You basically lose all the money that you've had in your contract, in that agreement. So, um, so you're looking at a career that's over before it really began. Now, from what I was hearing last night, I watched videos from Lucy Rodine on YouTube. She used to be on the Dan Le Batard show. And she was tiptoeing through this because she's like, well, I'm not going to say certain things. Okay. But they were trying to fire him. I mean, this was something that had been going on for a couple of months. But he ended up getting shit canned yesterday. And everything just got worse and worse and worse with everything that was going on. So he is now